Calling meeting to order. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Welcome to the 23rd meeting of MECA KSA Toastmasters Club, club number 07879933, Area 6, Division B, District 79. I am Anand, the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. Before we begin, let me read out our mission of our Toastmasters Club. We provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. I request you all to please repeat after me. For better listening, better thinking, and better speaking. We learn by doing. Thank you all. I request you all to silence your cell phones during the meeting. Since we are in an online meeting, members other than the role players, meeting leaders, and speakers are advised to mute their microphones during the meeting. You are urged to upload using emojis and through your video. As a general rule, Toastmasters encourages all speakers and role players to speak on any topic except politics, religion, and sex. I hope you will enjoy today's meeting as I would. Let me now hand over the control of the meeting to our presiding officer, a great Toastmaster, confident speaker, and exemplary leader, our club president, distinguished Toastmaster KSA Sridhar. DTM Sridhar, the stage is all yours. DTM Sridhar, you are muted.
Yeah. Now it's okay. Thank you, Sergeant at Arms Anand Agarwal, for your generous introduction. In fact, today is a meeting the theme is courage. If you do, even if you have any talent, any attitude, any aptitude, but we do not have the courage and conviction to see through the obstacles and achieve success, that you will never achieve anything. That is, you need to have the courage. You should have the audacity to face challenges. That is the real challenge we are facing at this juncture. Even in the meetings, we feel, oh, we cannot do anything. We have this problem, that problem. These problems will always be there. It is your courage to circumvent all these problems, to face the problem, and then do and achieve your success. I will give you an example of Amelia Earhart, the first woman to circumnavigate the globe in 1930s. Now at least we have a lot of gadgets, lot of controls. In those days we didn't have anything. In a single aeroplane she did. She had that courage. She raised the bar, and she almost, when she was completing the circumnavigation somewhere in Pacific Island, the plane crashed. Yet she left a legacy, a benchmark of people, and she inspired so many people that if you have the courage, you can raise the bar. So I would like to call upon our word master, Sanat Agarwal, to present the word of the day.
Thank you, President DTM Sridhar. The word of the day is audacious. Audacious means daring, bold, adventurous, showing willingness to take up surprisingly bold risk. On the other end, this is the positive kind of meaning of audacious. On the other end, there is a slight negative, can be a slight negative tint to this word, which is audacious also means when you show disrespect to an authority or religion or law, and it is against the decorum, then it is called decorum. The word originated sometime in the mid of the 16th century from the Latin word audex, which means bold. Examples of this word, usage of this word: he made an audacious attempt to acquire a company 3 times the size of his own company. Right? This is a positive side where somebody is saying it's a courageous, it's a bold attempt. Another example: how audacious of him to speak like this in front of everyone. Now this sentence can be interpreted both positively or negatively. I'll give you one third example, which is obviously negative. You audacious traitor, how dare you insult the king? So this is like in a negative term. I encourage all the speakers to use the word of the day during their speeches. Over to you, President.
Thank you, Sanat, for describing the word of the day. Today's Toastmaster, who will be conducting the session, is a very dynamic gentleman. He is a chartered certified accountant from UK ACCA, and also a certified management accountant from Institute of Management Accountants USA. He is currently associated with Haji Hassan Group as a finance manager. He hails from the state of Kerala in India and is in the Gulf for the last 13 years. He is blessed with 2 daughters and a son, and he is passionate about learning and growing his knowledge. And also, he joined the Toastmasters to become a confident public speaker and a communicator. Please help me welcome Anand Pillai to be the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster DDM Sridhar, for that generous introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a wonderful good morning to all of you. Every day starts with faith. Without faith and courage, nothing can be done in this world. Whatever we are seeing around in our eyes, it's because of someone's effort and courage. Right? Someone has been audacious enough to go through the path and face the difficulties and get the things done. As the word goes, today's theme of the day is courage. And the word is audacious. Now we all know about this word, the theme, courage, very well. We all are familiar with the word. But if we just get a deeper view into this word, it says that it is a mental and moral ability of someone to withstand with any kind of difficulties, challenges, barriers, fear, challenges, everything. We stand with pain. It's the mental and moral ability of someone. So without that, we cannot achieve things in this life. It's not that we are not getting afraid of, or we are not getting fear of. It's the matter that we realize it and we challenge it, we conquer it, and we move on. Fellow Toastmasters, let's be audacious in the positive sense. And let's me go to the introduction of our role players who are the most important part of Toastmaster. Let me welcome Toastmaster Rupesh as our accountant to explain his role. Toastmaster Rupesh.
Yeah, good morning and thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Anand Pillai and fellow Toastmaster. As a AHA counter, my role will be the purpose of AHA counter is to note words that sounds are used as crutch or pouch filler by anyone speak. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sound, including and r. And I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means at the end of the meeting, when I will be called upon, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Hand over to Toastmaster today, Anand Pillai. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rupesh, for explaining your role. Before I move to the next role player, I forgot something in the beginning of the meeting to basically talk about the last meeting's winners. So our last meeting winners are best speaker, Toastmaster Anand. Best table topic speaker was Toastmaster Munish Gupta. Best evaluator was Toastmaster Bala RN. Best meeting leader was Toastmaster Jabir Ali. And the best of big three was Toastmaster Anit Khan. Well, thank you. And we will move forward with the next role player. I would like to welcome Toastmaster Sanat Kumar Agarwal for his role as Wordmaster and Grammarian for the day. Toastmaster Sanat.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and guests. My role as a grammarian, it is my responsibility to keep a close watch on the use of the language, the use of outstanding words, quotes, sayings, and thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my role to keep a tab on the use of the word of the day during the speeches. So I encourage everyone to use the word of the day, and I will present my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanat. Moving to the next role player, we have Toastmaster Kasi Said, who is doing the role of the timer. Can I have Toastmaster Kwasi Said for explaining your role?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mr. Anand Pillai. Greetings, distinguished Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster and guests. As timer, I will time the prepared speeches, table topics, speakers, and the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, which denote a specific time remaining. Those giving prepared speeches should limit their remarks to their specific speech times. Icebreaker speeches should be 4 to 6 minutes in length, green card at 4 minutes, yellow card at 5 minutes, and red card at 6 minutes. Most other speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length, green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, and red card at 7 minutes. Table topic speakers should limit their remarks between 1 to 2 minutes, green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red card at 2 minutes. The individual evaluation should be between 2 to 3 minutes, green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red card at 3 minutes. For all speeches, table topics, and evaluations, the speakers have 30 seconds to wrap up their speeches after the red card. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster Anand. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kasi, for that. And let me now move to the next role player, is our word counter. This role will be fulfilled by our distinguished Toastmaster, Dr. Sundar. Dr. Sundar, would you like to explain your role as a word counter?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anand Pillai, fellow Toastmasters, good morning. As the word counter, I shall be helping you select the best speaker, best table topic speaker, best meeting leader, best evaluator, and the best of big three. So the voting will be done through Google Forms links, which will be shared to you as and when the particular segment's voting is called for through the chat box. Kindly vote for the role player or the performer whom you feel did their role to the best of their abilities. And as the vote counter, I will not be voting until there is a need to break a tie. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Sundar. And now it's time for us to move to the next session of this Toastmasters meeting. We would be going with the prepared speeches first. So our first speaker is Toastmaster Kasi Saeed, and I will be evaluating his speech as part of my project from Persuasive Influence level 1, level 2, project 2. And my evaluation will be evaluated by Toastmaster S.R. Sridhar. So once again, thank you all. I would like to talk about the evaluation criteria of my speaker. Toastmaster Kasi Saeed, he is presenting his speech from his level 1, project 1, which is from presentation mastery level 1, project 1. So the purpose for the speaker to present his speech and receive feedback, and then incorporate the feedbacks and then present the speech in the next session. So I would like to welcome on stage, I would like to hand over it back to the Toastmaster of the day. So I will explain the role, the person. The speaker is Kasi Saeed Nakuddin. He's from Maharashtra, India. He has done his master's in commerce and he also holds a postgraduate diploma in business administration. He's working in the Saudi Arabia for the last 20 years. He's currently working in Saudi Arabian Industrial and Development, the Dammam company, as a finance manager. He has joined MECA Toastmasters Club for the development of his communication and leadership skills. Let me welcome Toastmaster Kasi Saeed for his speech. Toastmaster Kasi, the stage is all yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster. What is health? Being slim or being muscular? Of course not. According to the World Health Organization, health is a state of being completely physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely freedom to disease or absence of an infirmity. Distinguished Toastmaster, guests, and fellow Toastmasters, good morning. My name is Qazi Sayyid Naqiuddin. Topic of my speech is, this is not diet, this is lifestyle. I will be talking about my transformation journey. Back to 2019, I was overweight, food lover, and I like to eat all Asian dishes full of fat, like biryani, chicken curry, and it was must to have some dessert after each meal. On top of that, my weakness was biscuits, particularly Parle-G and Good Day with tea. Let us go back earlier days of our life. In our society, mom used to prepare rich food and she gets very happy when kids eat rich food and eat more since they were growing up. In parties, we were insisted to have more food and it is considered as hospitality. There was no awareness of healthy eating. Then I came to Saudi Arabia. Everything was new, did not know the places. There was a Bukhari restaurant nearby our office where I used to enjoy khabsa and Pepsi every day. It was going on same for some more time, and time was going with same lifestyle. Then I moved to Jeddah where I enjoyed al-Beg more often. At my previous workplace, I was food pool manager. It was part of my task to decide which restaurant the entire finance team will go for lunch. There was bi-weekly family gathering where we enjoy rich food, dessert, etc. A day came, I started feeling discomfort, lazy, difficulty in running, and it was difficult for me to climb the stairs. My blood pressure was fluctuating. Finally, I decided to consult a cardiologist. After screening, he suggested me medicine for blood pressure and blood thinner. That has opened my eyes. I decided I'll not go for medicine, rather than I will change my lifestyle. A new research started. After research, my wife found a very good online nutrition center. Here, the real test of my life started. Learn how to control craving for the food you love, especially lovely biscuits and sweets. During induction period, nutritionists explained me what is the healthy eating, how it affects on your mental and physical health. For 15 days, early 15 days were very tough for me, uneasiness, headache, and craving. I was having soups, salads, sauteed vegetables, and grilled non-veg items. Only 1 spoon of oil and 2 spoons sugar was allowed. During these days, whenever I check my weight, just 100 or 200 grams less after such sacrifices, I was about to quit. But wife was motivating me. She gave me courage to continue the program. After a couple of months, I noticed that my waist size reduced to 2. Reduced by 1 number. Wow, what a motivation. I gave motivation and started following food plan seriously. Finally, a day came, I had to replace all my clothes with lesser number. That was a day of joy and celebration. Friends, during weight loss journey, did I eat less? No. In fact, I was eating more. My food plate consists of 50% vegetables, fruits, 25% protein-rich food, and 25% fiber-rich carbohydrates. Over the time, this type of food became our habit. Now it is almost impossible for me to go back to old lifestyle. And I realized miraculous changes in my mental and physical health. Friends, my story did not end here. We went on vacation with the hope that everybody will be delighted to see new me. But surprised to see the reaction at home, my younger sister started crying as soon as she saw me and started asking, brother, what's wrong with you? Have you got any chronic disease? Are you hiding something? After listening that, my mother also started crying. I had to get done some medical tests to ensure them that I am okay, and one doctor in my family convinced them that all is well. Friends, here I want to give a message that it is not diet, it is lifestyle which make us better. We have to help in creating awareness that what kind of food we all should have for better healthy life. Before I conclude, I would like to share something funny. My wife showed me these pictures. After looking at I got shocked. Is it me? Was it me? And after looking at my reaction, she laughed hysterically for 10 minutes. Finally, before I conclude, I want to say that I was 115, now it's new me. My weight is now 89 kg. Friends, journey is still going on. I have to lose another 10 kg and I will come back with another story of transformation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kasi, for that wonderful explanation, how you travel through your dieting journey, or how you changed your life, and it looks like you have almost become half of what you were. Thank you. I think you can share it with us later. Your technology. Okay, anyways, we will move to the next speaker. Do we have the the evaluator available, right? Yeah, all right. So our next speaker is Toastmaster Umesh Shafiq. And for evaluating his speech, I would like to call upon stage Toastmaster Malika Dinesh. And before that, let me give a brief introduction of Toastmaster Malika. She is the president of Elephant Speakers and Toastmasters, and he has dual membership in Gedegnia Toastmasters Club. She was the second runner-up in Division N in the International Speech Contest this year. She was member of the District 79 PR creative team and the host of District 79 podcast. She was also the assistant director for the Sadat 2021 magazine. An ex-banker and an educator in an international school who believes that learning is a lifelong process and inspires her students to develop a growth mindset. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Malika Dinesh. Toastmaster, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand. A very pleasant good morning to all my fellow Toastmasters. I'm here to evaluate Toastmaster Omar Sharif's speech. He's going to present his level 1 project 2, which is evaluation and feedback from visionary communication pathways, and the duration of his speech is 5 to 7 minutes. The objectives of his project are to present a speech on any topic, receive the feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The speech could be humorous, informational, or any other genre that the member chooses to. And the speech content and style should work well together. Toastmaster Umar has already delivered his first speech. He has received the feedback for it, and today he's going to apply that feedback to his second speech. The title of his speech is Deforestation and Its Impact. Good luck to you, Toastmaster Umar. I now hand over the lectern back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Malia, for a very detailed explanation of the speech. Let me now welcome Toastmaster Umair Shafiq. And before that, let me introduce him. He is a certified chartered accountant and a chartered accountant from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Pakistan. He has over 15 years of experience in Pakistan and across the Middle East. He was associated with PricewaterhouseCoopers, KPMG, and Shalak Group, currently settled in Bahrain. He joined Toastmasters to improve his communication skills and would like to be hold a C-level position in one of the leading multinationals in the world. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Umair Shafiq for his speech. Toastmaster Umair, the stage is all yours.
Thank you. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are audible.
Extreme heat, heat waves, rapid intense rains, flash floods, and havoc creating hurricanes. This might sound something out of a horror sci-fi movie, but this is a phenomena which now is causing havoc across the globe. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. My topic of today is deforestation and its impact on the environment. So what exactly is deforestation? Deforestation is the loss of forest cover across the globe, either through destruction or conversion for other means. At the start of the 20th century, we had 50 million square kilometers of forest, which has now been reduced to 40 million square meters. As per a study done by the Food and Agriculture Authority of the United Nations, we have converted 420 million hectares of forest for other uses since 1990. And the annual rate of deforestation through conversion lies at 10 million hectares a year between 2015 and 2020. As per another study done by the journal Nature, we have lost 17% of the Amazonian rainforest in the last 50 years alone. Now, currently, the forest covers 1/3 of the world's population, and we are destroying 15 billion forests a year as per a study done by the WWF. We need forest for our livelihood, for water, for health, and this is not sustainable or smart. Forests are an integral part of our society, and we need them to survive. As per the United Nations framework on Convention of Nature, we are the biggest cause of conversion of forest is because of subsistence farming, followed by commercial agriculture and using forest for wood and fuel. But all deforestation is not because of man-made reasons. Grazing by animals and fires are also causing large amount of deforestation, which in turn act as a catalyst for further deforestation and climate change. But as we discussed, forests are going down. But then what impact does this have on our daily life? Forests are the major source of trees across the world. And these trees are responsible for absorbing not only the carbon dioxide in the environment, but other greenhouse gases which are being produced by the result of human activities through our factories and production. With the loss of the tree cover, these greenhouse gases and carbon dioxide are being trapped in the atmosphere. This causes the radiation from the sun to be trapped and in turn causes further heated environment to be developed in Earth, which then causes climate change and global warming, which we can see across the world. Currently, the last fire in August costed 46 million hectares of forest life to be destroyed, and it is estimated that 3 billion animals were impacted. From China to Europe, we saw flash floods this year, causing havoc and destruction across the globe. From Turkey to Greece to USA, we can see wildfires running across every year, causing destruction not only to plants and animals, but to humans and whatever they have built surrounding this forest area. But global warming is not the only issue which we are facing today. Forests play a vital role in the water cycle across the globe. As more and more forests are being cut down, we see that less and less water is being transpired from the ground into the earth. When less and less water is transpired, this causes a much more drier climate and less soil water. This in turn causes less cohesion in the soil, which paves way for flooding and landslide. All of this is happening across the globe, causing mass damage in terms of life and property and destruction of wildlife. Which brings me to the next topic. Around 80% of the Earth's wildlife and tree plantation, it can be found across the in the forest areas. With less and less forest, this is causing a perpetual nature of destruction of wildlife and plant life. It has been estimated by the International Union of Convention of Nature that 20,334 forms of trees are now in risk of danger, have been put on the red list, which require human intervention for convention so that we can be preserved for the future years. Similarly, 80% of various wildlife species are found in forest. With more and more deforestation, these habitats are being lost. And as a result of that, what we see is that animals like orangutans, Sumatran tigers are facing a risk of extinction along with other wildlife animals. But this does not stop here alone. A lot of rural population is associated with forests. It is estimated by the UN that 250 million people are dependent on forests for their subsistence. And with the cutting down of forests, this poses a risk on their livelihood. Lastly, but not the least, we have a serious health issue associated with deforestation. As per World Economic Forum, 31% of the forest of the emerging diseases such as Ebola and Chagas disease have associated from forests because of the increased interaction between wildlife animals, plants, and humans as a loss of their habitat. So, my dear fellow Toastmasters, deforestation is an existential threat as it causes significant issues across the environment, not only for us, but for our future generations in terms of less breathable oxygen and a more toxic environment leading to further health issues. But all is not lost. It needs significant courage by the government and us as a society to come together and to ensure that we reverse this effect. The governments have woken up to this and have started taking serious steps for afforestation and reforestation. But the buck does not stop there. It is our task as humans to support the government by putting more plantation so that we have a better environment for the future. And with that, I will conclude my topic.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umair Shafiq, for that speech. Let me now move to the next session of this meeting. Do we have
whether the speakers are qualified? Just check with the timer whether speakers are qualified.
Are all the speakers qualified? The timer, please.
Yeah.
Qualified.
Timer, can you please repeat if they are qualified?
Yeah, both the speakers are qualified.
Both of them are qualified. Thank you. And Dr. Sridhar, do we have, BGM Sridhar, do we have the table topics master available?
Yeah, she is. Sanath Agarwal is the table master.
Sanath is the table topic master. All right.
By the way, we have asked for voting.
Sure. Sorry about that. Dr. Sundar, can we have the voting, please?
The link has already been shared, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you.
Request all members to vote for the best speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sundar, for that. By the time the voting is going on, let us move to the next session of the vibrant session in Toastmastering, our table topic session, which will be conducted by Toastmaster Sanath Kumar. Toastmaster Sanath Kumar is an investment banker and a corporate finance professional with over 20 years of experience in mergers and acquisitions, valuations, due diligence, etc. And Dr. Sanath is a partner with Simplify Consulting, a boutique management consulting firm in Bahrain. Previously, he was worked with global consulting firms including Deloitte, KPMG, Grant Thornton, and most Stephens International. Sanath is a qualified instrumentation engineer and holds a master's in business administration with specialization in finance. He's a certified treasury manager from the Association of Certified Treasury Managers. Toastmaster Sanath, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, PM Anand, for that very generous and elaborate introduction. Once again, a very pleasant good morning to all fellow Toastmasters and guests. Table topics is a very interesting session. I find it to be very interesting. I hope you all like it too. So today I have a very long list of table topics. Let us see how much we are able to kind of do. We don't have too many participants, but let us see how many we can do. So the first table topic is success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Quote by none other than Winston Churchill, without whom England probably wouldn't have won the Second World War. I am putting the topic on the chat for everyone. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Can I have Toastmaster Kazi to take up this? He is also the timer. Okay, can we have Toastmaster Rupesh Kumar to speak on this topic?
Yes, success is not a final, failure is not a fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. I fully subscribe to this thought, because in our day-to-day life, we must have come through a lot of challenges. In some of the challenges, we might have passed with a great flying colors. In some of the challenges, we might have done bad. But what is important? Important is that to learn the lessons from the failure and apply in the future. So once we are able to apply all the learning, of course, I think we must agree this application will help us to improve us as a better person, and in the future, in all the project, we can succeed. Even in my personal life, I have seen when I was working in different organization, since I have also worked in a lot of system implementation. The one of company I found, we have a poor implementation of the project. So there were a lot of challenges, and all around the organization, it was very depressed environment, because each and everyone blame game was going on. However, after discussing and learning from the team member, we identified the point, and then we divided small teams, learning from the why it failed, and we started correcting one by one all the issues, and then finally, with a passage of time, we were able to fix all the issues. And now again, we did a further enhancement. So now I can say system and processes are running fine, and we are also one of the best in town working. So I think success is not a final and failure is not a fatal. Success is a journey that we have to take across in our life path, either in personal life or in organization. And then if failure comes, we have to learn, and that will help us to grow as a better person. Hand over to table topic Toastmaster of the day, Mr. Sanatagawa. Thank you.
Toastmaster Sanat, you are muted.
Thank you to DTM Sundar for pointing out. I was just mentioning what a beautiful thought by Toastmaster Rupesh Kumar. Success is a journey. It is not a destination. The next topic, courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. I repeat, courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. And to speak on this topic, can I invite Toastmaster Mati Hasmi? Toastmaster Mati, are you available?
Yes, sir, I'm here. Can you please repeat the topic?
The topic is also on the chat, and I will repeat for you. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you so much for giving the topic. Actually, it is the courage that leads you to face any challenge, and you have for that purpose you need to take the bold steps, and you need to be audacious and to face any kind of challenges. So I will refer my CA articleship period, because at that time when I joined the CA firm, I was continuing my CA education, and at the same time I continued my ACCA education. So at that time it was quite difficult, because in my company the environment was not so much pleasant and not so much courageous, and there was so much tension and pressure from the senior side. But I took the bold step. I took the courage, and I faced the challenges. So I for to continuing my education for ACCA stream, at the same time I had to bear the extra cost of study material. I had to pay the fees in British pounds. So I had to take the whole review of my learning habits and my daily schedule of learning. But I had, but I took that decision, and I took the courage, and I when I passed the CA inter examination, at the same time I had passed 4 papers of ACCA. So, and during that articleship period, I could not avail the study leave for the ACCA exam, and because I had to avail the study leave for the CA education. But I faced those challenges, and I kept on my focus that I have not to waste the time. I have to maximum. I have to make maximum utilization of my time, and Alhamdulillah, I faced the challenges, and I uh, got the purpose and focus where I had to qualify the ACCA, and that was done successfully. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much.
What an inspiring story, TM Mati Hasmi. It takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to your enemies, but just as much to stand up to your friends. I'm putting topic on the chat, and I'll repeat once again. It takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to your enemies, but just as much to stand up to your friends. Can I have Toastmaster Ma'am Malika Mada to take up this topic? Ma'am, are you available? Toastmaster Malika?
Good morning once again. Yes, I'm here.
Morning.
Thank you for that wonderful topic. A smooth sea cannot make a skilled sailor. We all are acquainted with this. It proves that in life, there will be situations where you have to show up and face. It could be any kind of threat, any kind of challenges, any kind of trials and tribulations. But a person should have the moral courage to face the situations. Now, as an individual, we always stand up for ourselves. But a true individual is one who just doesn't stand up for oneself, but also stands for his or her friends. Now, when we are with our acquaintances, with our friends, we always speak on behalf of them. But you can show your true quality only when you speak on behalf of your friends in their absence. That is what proves that you are their true friend. Now, in life, we come across various situations where your ideas, your notions may not match up to the other person's notions. And you have to have that kind of moral strength to stand up for your values, your beliefs. And if your friend, you can have a difference of opinion with your friends, but then when you see that the person has a difference of opinion, but you have to have that strength to tell him or her that this is where our opinions are differing. So coming back to the topic, yeah. So when you see that your friends, some people are not, when you see that there are people who are backstabbing or talking against your friends, it takes a lot of moral courage to speak up to them and stand for your friend. That's what true friendship stands for. I think that is what I got, the gist of this topic. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Malika. What a wonderful thought. You should have the moral courage to stand up and speak up your difference of opinion with your best of your friends. That is what true friendships are. But the next topic is you cannot swim for new horizons until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. You cannot swim for new horizons until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. Can I have Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anand Pillai, to take up this topic? It's on the chat.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sanat. Definitely, courage is the foundation of any success. Can we think about anything massive in this world that is built without showing courage? It's the same quite simple example that when someone, if I literally take the sentences, if someone wanted to reach a destination through the sea, definitely they cannot see the shore beyond the sea. But still they are courageous, right? They're being audacious, and then they finally get into it and move on. It's that the characteristics, or it's the courage to take the uncertainty in life, to face the uncertainty. Because there is always an element of risk everywhere. So if we are risk averse, afraid, and not showing enough courage to move in the life, you cannot even imagine about a new horizon. You cannot imagine about something new happening to the mankind. It is just because we are the new humans in this world. how the technology has been developed. It's all because of someone's courage, someone's ability to withstand with fear. As humans, employees, or whatever the phases of our life, we all face these issues in the life. Unless and until you have the foundation of courage, perseverance, audaciousness, we cannot move in the life. We cannot even imagine about a new show. Let's have that courage. Let's move forward. The journey of a 1,000 miles starts with the first step. And taking that first step needs the foundation, which is the courage. Over to you, Toastmaster Sanath.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand Pillai, for the thought. A journey of 1,000 miles start with the first step, and let's have the courage to take that first step. I have always been intrigued by the way Toastmaster, or rather distinguished Toastmaster, Dr. Sundar, attempts any table topic. So I have this one for him in the chat. The art of being sometimes audacious and sometimes very prudent is the secret of success. So said Napoleon Bonaparte. Your thoughts, sir? DTM Sundar.
Hey, you. Do you know that I'm the best person to attempt table topics here today? Well, if I say that, especially in the presence of so many Toastmasters, even the district champion around, it might sound audacious. Well, the question which the table topics master has put across to me is to question ourselves and introspect whether audacity and prudence go hand in hand to be successful. Fellow Toastmasters and all my dear friends, a very good morning to you all. At times in life, we need to be audacious to believe that we can do it. A case in point is, as children, when we are challenged to do something, imagine that you are having a cycling race at the earliest part of your childhood when you are learning to ride a bicycle. The kid always has the audacity to say that I am the best. No matter he is just a novice, he would have learned riding his or her bicycle just a few days ago, but still they have the audacity to say that I'm the best, and they go on challenges with the other kids to prove that they are the best. At that point, if the kid was thinking that prudence, no, I might be not the best, I am still learning, do you think the kid would be able to perform in the race and win over? Definitely not. So this is what exactly the topic tries to convey to us, that in life, audacity is not always bad. Audacity, don't put audacity on the negative side of the framework. It could always be looked in a positive angle as well. Sometimes you are thrown a challenge at your workplace. You might have to think that you are the best person to have taken it up. And that would give you the confidence to take it forward, take it in your stride, and also would give you a commitment that you have to prove to the others. So in life, take up audacity and prudence in a balance, but let them not go one up high or one down. For example, if you take up audacity too much, we always call the person headstrong, and that always brings you down to the negative side of the framework, as I told you before. So whatever be it your personal, professional, or your work life, strike a balance between audacity and prudence to take up forward and take things going on and reach out to your journey called success. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, DTM, Dr. Sundar. Strike a balance. Absolutely wonderful thought. Toastmaster Kazi spoke about his courageous journey in his speech. Courage is found in unlikely places. Can I have your views on this, TM Kazi?
Dr. Sundar, Dr. Sundar, can you drive him at that for his speech? Yeah.
Yes, I'll do the timer.
The topic is also on the chat. Courage is found in unlikely places.
Hold on a second, please. I'm just setting up the timer.
Sure.
Yes, I'm ready.
You are mute, Toastmaster Kazi.
Thank you very much. My topic is courage is found always in unlikely places. We have to take up the courage at the places where we feel ourselves fearful, where we feel difficult to face any challenge. Courage is not required where the things are very easy to do. For example, anything, any task we find that it is very easy to do. Courage is required where, for example, facing a new boss who is very rude by nature. Courage is required when you have to take a bold step. Courage is required, for example, the courage when I was feeling very fearful when I was obese, I was overweight. It was whenever I look myself in the mirror, I feel ashamed. I was feeling fear to look myself in the mirror. So courage is required whenever you feel fear, either any point of time where you feel that you are fear, you cannot move ahead, you cannot do that. And that is the place most of the courage is required to move ahead and develop yourself, to achieve your goal, take a further step ahead. Over to you, Mr. Sanat Agarwal. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Kazi, for that wonderful thought. Whenever you are fearful, call upon your courage. Toastmaster of the day, do we have some more time to take some more topics? We have done 6. I can go on for another. I have at least 4 or 5 other topics.
Only two topics you can take more.
Okay. So for the next topic is a ship is safe in harbor, but that's not what the ship is for. A ship is safe in harbor, but that's not what the ships are for. The topic is on the chat, and can I have Toastmaster Omar Shafiq? Toastmaster Omar Shafiq, are you available to take this topic? Would you like to attempt this?
Yeah, he's there. He's there.
Hi. So the topic is, can you please repeat the topic?
Yeah. It is also on the chat, and I will repeat for you. A ship is safe in harbor, but that's not what the ships are for.
Thank you for the topic. So as Toastmaster rightly pointed out, a ship is safe in the harbor. The purpose of the ship is to sail the high seas, to go out and explore and to take with its passengers or we take it with its cargo. The same applies to everyday human beings. We might be safe in a comfort zone, but that is not what we're here to be for. We're here to grow, to go out of our comfort zone, to grow personally, to develop ourselves, to enhance ourselves as better human beings, to gain new skills, new ideas, to develop them, to improve what we do, how we do it. In short, we might be safe where we are today. We might only be thinking of what we are trying to achieve right now. We might feel scared. We might not feel courageous enough to explore new avenues, to not be audacious enough to go out and follow the challenges, which will enhance our skill set, will enhance ourselves as a person, and will help grow ourselves. But in short, this is what we are supposed to be doing. We are, as humans, are supposed to evolve. and evolution is the key to growth. And with that, I will return back to the Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umar Sharif Safi. We can have one more topic, and I'll put the topic on the chat. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. And why don't we have our president and distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar to attempt this topic?
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. It's said that it's not the blowing of the wind that determines of the future. It is the set of your sails. Jim Rohn said this. In my life, I had been faced with huge challenges in various walks of my life. And I've always felt I should really be cocooned into safety. But then I had to expand to break the challenges, to face the challenges. For example, when I was when I was the lowest ebb of my career at that time, when in spite of my great performances in my office, I was overlooked for promotion. And not only that, it was almost I was insulted by bringing a novice on top of me. That was a time when I thought I had to really break the shackles and be someone so good that they cannot even question. So I took up a challenge of passing the CPA exams, the US CPA exam, which was supposed to be just very tough. And in those days, we had to travel to United States. And I didn't have the kind of money, the kind of resources. But yet I said, we need to really, if you have to be excellent, you have to be the best, you need to invest in the best. So with the great difficulties and a lot of challenges, to leave, visa issues, family problems. But then my wife supported me. And then finally, after 3 or 4 attempts, traveling to US, I came back, passed the exams. And now I'm really successful in my career. And no one dare to overlook me in any either position or promotion. And not only that, without my asking, I was being promoted. Without my asking, I've been given increments. That was the situation I brought it. So hence, fellow Toastmasters, it's either you shrink or expand. It depends on the courage, the audacity of courage that you have got to achieve your goals and be successful. Mr. Table Topics Master. You're muted.
Sorry. I keep forgetting about the mute. Thank you, DTM Sridhar, for that very inspiring story and that very inspiring quote. I missed the first half of the quote, but it was a wonderful quote. I think with this, I will end my table topic session and pass on the baton to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anand Pillai. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanath, for conducting a vibrant session. And all the topics are very well aligned with the theme of the day and the word of the day. And thank you for bringing it. And are the timer, please? Are all the speakers qualified? Toastmaster.
All are qualified, Toastmaster.
All are qualified.
Yes.
All right. So we can have the voting. By the time the voting goes on, we will move to the next. I see the most important session of the meeting, the evaluation session. Today's evaluation will be conducted by none other than our club mentor, distinguished Toastmaster Dr. Sundar. Dr. Sundar is an associate consultant, oral surgeon by profession. He's a Toastmaster since 2017. He's the Vice President Education of Taj Toastmasters Club and club coach of PSU Falcons Club. He is a Division B champion and Sadak semi-finalist in the program year 2019 and 2020. Please help me welcome our club mentor, distinguished Toastmaster Dr. Sundar, for conducting his session.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Anand Pillai, for the generous introduction. I'm indeed humbled. Fellow Toastmasters and all my dear friends, a warm good morning to you once again. And evaluation, as always, as my mentor and the club president of MECA KSA Toastmasters Club, distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar says, evaluation is the breakfast of the champions. At a time when we are supposed to have the actual breakfast, I guess we can just touch upon the words of our Toastmaster Kazi, skip the breakfast or go for something healthy, and evaluation could also be a healthy breakfast today. We will move on without further ado into the actual evaluation. So we'll be having the prepared speech evaluations and the table topics evaluation, followed by the meeting leaders reports from all our glorious and great meeting leaders. And finally, I would be giving my feedback about the overall meeting. To start up with, we had the first prepared speech evaluator, who will also be evaluated because his evaluation speech is going to be part of a project. That's a level 1 project 2 project. So the evaluator is a chartered accountant by profession, and he works currently for Haji Hassan Group in Bahrain as a finance manager. He hails from the God's own country, Kerala in India, and has been working in the Gulf for the last 13 years. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Anand Pillai to evaluate the level 1 project 2 speech of Toastmaster Kazi Makiyuddin. Toastmaster Anand, the virtual lectern is yours.
Thank you, DTM Sridhar, DTM Sundar. First of all, congratulations to my speaker, Toastmaster Kazi, for presenting your first in series of your evaluation speech. You have delivered it very nicely. You have shown your life, a portion of your life, how you felt when you were massive. What was the thought on the food, how you changed, how you perceive about it. And you clearly explained the difference between what is the diet and what is a healthy lifestyle. Diet is short term and healthy lifestyle is forever. You said you cannot imagine to go back to that. If I say about how you performed, you have started with a call of action, or you have started with a question, what is health? And you have traveled as the content was very clear, and you have very clearly explained. Your voice was clearly audible, and we could clearly understand what you are talking about. And you have been using your vocal variety throughout the speech. Wherever you wanted some ups, you wanted some downs, how you show the expressions, you have been using your vocal variety in a very nice manner. And I must say that you have been using your hands in a very nice manner. You have been using your hands whenever you wanted to show us some expressions, how you feel about the content, you have been using your hands. One of the most important attributes of a good speaker. And I feel that you have been very much comfort. You didn't feel that much of nervous. You didn't carry nervousness in speech. You have been quite comfortable in your speech, and you don't feel any. You are not afraid, or you don't feel any stage fright to that extent. So you have been so comfortable. And you have explained very well. You have how you took that courage to stop how you were food habits and start a new life journey. That needs courage. Well, every speech has something to improve. With your in this speech, I found out few things that I can tell you that how you can improve. You have been not giving eye contact. It looks like you have kept a script somewhere besides your monitor or somewhere, and you have been reading through that. Looks you have been not giving attention to the speaker. You need to engage the speaker so that people look at you. So you are looking at one side and then you are speaking. So it looks like your eyes are on the other side and you are showing yours. So you can basically give an eye contact. It's not if you're reading it, but you need to by heart. All the speeches cannot be written and read, right? So you need to basically have that content and deliver it. Then, although your vocal variety was there, you need to bring up some facial expressions. Especially, you said that when your mother and sister met you, what kind of a situation, you could have incorporated some human element into that. And overall, I enjoyed your speech, and a good luck to you. Over to you, General Evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anand, for that great evaluation. I'm pretty sure that Toastmaster Kazi is uplifted, as well as he has taken valuable points to improve his speech when he's going to deliver it next time. Up next, we have the evaluation for the second prepared speech of today's meeting. And this was a speech delivered by Toastmaster Umair Shafiq. And this was an L1P2 repeat speech, a feedback, that is, he had received feedback and he has incorporated feedback and repeated his speech again. And to evaluate this speech, we have a guest Toastmaster, a prolific speaker, a great champion speaker, I could call her. By profession, she is an educator and an ex-banker. And she always believes that learning is a lifelong process and inspires her students to develop a growth mindset. I'm pretty sure Toastmaster Malika Mada, our evaluator for the second prepared speech, is going to bring in the same growth mindset and inspirational thoughts in her evaluation as well. Toastmaster Malika, the virtual lectern is all yours to evaluate Toastmaster Umair's speech.
Thank you, Dr. Sundar, for those elevating words. Good morning once again. Flash floods, forest fires, hurricanes. Yes, it did sound like a science fiction movie. The first 10 seconds of any speech are the most crucial moments to entice the audience. Toastmaster Umair, you nailed it by emphasizing the effects of deforestation at the beginning of your speech. So half the battle was already won. The selection of the topic, deforestation and its impact, was in itself a very audacious step. This being your second project, usually we all go for simple topics, but since you took such a challenging topic, it shows that you're very courageous. Global warming and climate change are the problems which are staring at our faces, and we cannot shy away from them. Recently, the world leaders had a summit to discuss about the problems which we are going to face in future. And if we do not tackle them right on, we are doomed and we are going to head towards a catastrophe. So what I liked the most about Toastmaster Umair's speech was that he tried to make the audience acquaint with such a relevant and informative topic in a short span of 7 minutes. I must applaud him for reinforcing that one of the main drivers of climate change is deforestation. You enumerated various factors like excessive felling of trees, animal grazing, commercialization, which leads to a lot of problems like loss of habitat, soil erosion, increase in greenhouse emissions, and so on. It was a perfect research topic with a lot of evidences which met the objectives of your project. In your first speech, you received the following feedback: that you have to work on the pace of your speech, you have to improve the construction of your speech, and you had to end your speech with a positive note. So I must say that you have worked on two aspects. You have delivered a very well-organized speech. You sprinkled it with loads of facts and figures, with reference to all the major factors contributing to deforestation. You had a very good pace. Now, coming to some of the things where you could improve, I will give you 2 key gems which will help your speech go a few notches higher. You need to work on your hand gestures. I could see that you were always clasping your hands, and you could work on your stage movements. And since this is a technical topic, you could have narrowed it down so that the audience would not lose their attention in the process. There was a lot of information, so you could have capsuled the content, so we could have absorbed the information in a proper manner. And you could have also shed some light on some strategies to reduce deforestation. So in summation, I would say a very well-researched, pertinent topic with loads of information to carry home. Just work on the recommendations like your stage movements and your tonations, and definitely you will enter the spectrum of excellence in the days to come. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you very much for Toastmaster Malika for that indeed uplifting evaluation. I'm pretty sure that Toastmaster Umar Shafiq has taken the valuable points home, and he is going to incorporate in his future projects those as well. Up next, we have the evaluation for the table topics. And who else to evaluate the table topics than the champion herself? This lady is a motivational and keynote speaker, a trainer, writer, and a passionate Toastmaster. By profession, she is an IT consultant, and the hallmark of her Toastmastering journey has been the winning of the District 79 Championship in evaluation and table topics. She was actually a dual champion at one point in time, winning both these coveted awards in the same year. And last year, she was the champion in table topics again. She has served in several leadership positions from club to district, and is the founder of her own public speaking and communication coaching firm, through which she aspires to hone the communication skills of youth and adults for greater success. Please put your hands together to welcome champion DTM Farheen Said to evaluate the table topics. DTM Farheen, the virtual lectern is all yours.
Thank you very much, DTM Dr. Sundar Ramalingam. I'm really happy to be here. Good morning.
Time. We have to.
Point of information.
Timing.
Sorry to interrupt, DTM Farheen. Timer, please note that since we have 8 speakers, it will be 4 minutes green, 4.5 minutes yellow, and 5 minutes red. Back to you, DTM Farheen.
Thank you, DTM Sundar. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and any guests. I'm delighted to be here between y'all. And my evaluation for the table topics is going to be a little hard considering how beautifully presented those topics were. Let me get straight into it. Let's begin with our first table topic speaker, Toastmaster Rupesh Kumar. Toastmaster Rupesh, you started off with telling us how the topic was something you agreed with. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. And you told us, I agree with it. And then you talked about the personal life and how you learned and corrected a lot of issues that happened and how you got better over time. Success is a journey. That's what hit me best in your speech. If I had to give you a point of improvement, I would say that your hand movements were a little distracting. We need to get those hands to be used in conjunction with what we're saying, but try not to use them too much where they get a little too distracting. Moving on to Toastmaster Mati Hashmi, take bold steps and be audacious. Wow, such a strong opening. Toastmaster Mati, you were courageous enough to say that courage is resistance to fear. And then you moved on to give us some personal life difficulties and the challenges that you faced, and you even told us how you overcame them. All that was done beautifully in a short span of time. If I had to help you get better, it would be, please be bold, use body language and show us some courage, because you were saying everything that was required, but your voice was so low that it was hard to follow. And of course, remember to conclude well. Moving on to Toastmaster Malika Dinesh. Look at how beautifully she started. She gave us the analogy of a smooth sailing sea, and already my mind was peaceful. Toastmaster Malika, you talked about moral strength, you talked about values, And then you talked about how it's sometimes important for us to correct our friends when they're wrong. So what if they're friends, right? The topic was all about how you need a great deal of bravery, not only to stand up to your enemies, but just as much to stand up to your friends. And you did that well. If I had to help you improve, I would say, please turn on your camera. I was waiting to see how you look when you said all of that. So next time, we want to see more of you with the turned on camera and maybe a little anecdote of how your smooth sailing sea was disrupted. Next, we had Toastmaster Anand Pillai. Courage is the foundation. Wasn't that such a beautiful opening? Toastmaster Anand, I loved how you used a rhetoric question. Can we think of, and immediately the audience is thinking of what you're thinking. That's a beautiful, beautiful way of grabbing the attention. And you did it wonderfully. You had some great hand gestures and some wonderful eye contact, something that kept me hooked throughout. If I had to help you improve, I would say be audacious enough to use some facial expressions. Your face was kind of, the same throughout. So when you went high and low, even with your voice, use the same with your face and see how you're going to come back even stronger. The next speaker we had, of course, the champion, DTM Sundar Ramalingam. And look at how he began. Hey, you! Who wouldn't listen to someone who calls out like that, right? That was a strong opening, DTM Sundar. And then you moved on with telling us a beautifully well-structured way of how we could get. We're talking about the art of being sometimes audacious and sometimes very prudent. And you showed us how we could do that. You told us to imagine a cycling race. And I was already thinking, oh yeah, how would that look like, right? That was done really well. It kept us hooked. Great voice and wonderful variation with lots of confidence thrown in. You concluded well, and we saw how that went. But if I had to help you improve, I would say, go on and do what you told us. Strike a balance, be audacious, use some pauses when it would count most, because then that super awesome table topic speech would come across even more better. Let's move on to our next table topic speaker, Qazi. Toastmaster Qazi, explanation of where courage is required, because the topic was courage is found in the most unlikely places. And you told us where it's found. Good gestures to show where you could be fearless. Please elaborate more. You had lots of time. I wish you would say more because I was waiting to hear. You were going great. Next time, take all that time. Toastmaster Umair Shafiq. He repeated the topic and you also elaborated by connecting the human beings who go out of their comfort zone to the topic, which was about a ship which is safe in its harbor, but that's not where it belongs, right? All right. So evolution is the key of growth, you said. Just continue speaking and try not to clasp those hands because that signifies nervousness. Finally, DTM Sridhar, you started with a strong opening quote. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage, my favorite quote. And you went on by telling us in life how you had to face a situation where you needed to stand up with courage. You showed us well and you concluded well. If you had to improve, please use your voice to depict your emotions. With that, I come to the end of this table topic evaluation and back to you, Mr. General Evaluator, DTM Sundar Ramalingam.
Thank you very much, DTM Farheen, for that marathon of an evaluation. And I'm pretty sure that you have taken the best of your efforts to bring in the good points as well as the most important feedbacks for improvement from all our table topic speakers today. And this is what we expect from a champion speaker. And thank you very much for having given a point of feedback or two for all of us, which we are pretty sure to take it to the next level when we do our table topics. We have one more evaluation to go before the evaluation session is finished. So the next evaluation is going to be an evaluation of an evaluation speech. We had Toastmaster Anand Pillai delivering an evaluation speech for Toastmaster Qazi's prepared speech. And this would be evaluated by a seasoned mentor. And he is the man who taught me what evaluation was about, what are the basics of evaluation are. So let us hear from the presiding officer, distinguished Toastmaster S.R. Sridhar. DTM Sridhar, the virtual lectern is all yours.
Thank you. I have unmuted, no?
Point of information, sir. The timing will be the same. It will be 2 minutes green, 2.5
Yeah.
minutes yellow, and 3 minutes red. Master Kazi, for your note.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. And my evaluator and the speaker, evaluator Anand Pillai and the speaker Kazi. Anand Pillai, your evaluation, you really checked most of the boxes, and I felt the way you evaluated, the positive points you stated nicely, and also you analyzed the speech, what he did, and all. As contest is also coming in, I would like to give you a feedback on what all you did well and what all you need to work on. So you analyze the speech, what he said, very relevantly you pointed out that the eye contact was not there, eye contact was a little bit not there. So maybe he was reading, maybe he was not reading, he was looking somewhere else. He's a new Toastmaster. So now he'll incorporate that. And also the vocal variation which he brought, and you said a very pertinent feedback you gave about that of uncovering humor, and also what I felt was that you could have also mentioned that the last when you were displaying the photograph, it was not very clear, that you could have mentioned. And finally, you ended off well with giving the recommendations. To take your evaluation to the next level, I would recommend you just note down many of the points of. You also need to have summarized recommendations. That's very important. As an evaluation contest, that 15 points is there for summarization. So you need to wind up by summarizing what recommendations you had given. That's very important. And this is what I would give a recommendation to you. And for Kazi, you need to, your speech was very good. As he said, you need to be more seeing the webcam and speaking. That would enhance your eye contact. All in all, it was a great evaluation. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you very much, DTM Sridhar, for the evaluation and feedback of the evaluation delivered by Toastmaster Anand Pillai. I'm pretty sure he is going to apply his feedback that he has received in his future evaluations. Fellow Toastmasters, it is now time for us to hear the meeting leaders reports. But before I move on to the meeting leaders reports, I just have a point of view to add upon for the prepared speeches, that I would like to add in addition to what was spoken by the evaluators themselves. As far as Toastmaster Kazi is concerned, one thing that I noticed is like he was fumbling for the time. If you look at it, he had prepared for almost 5 minutes exactly, and that is the bare minimum qualifying time. So Toastmaster Kazi, if you could prepare yourself, and probably you could add pauses so that you are looking more comfortable rather than not looking for those few words at the last few seconds to complete your speech. So this is something that I noticed. Probably I am wrong, but I would like to add it upon to you so that we all are educated and how much we plan our speech for. We practice ourselves enough so that we are always beyond the qualifying time. As far as Toastmaster Omar Shafiq is concerned, this point has been touched by that is him clasping his hands, was touched upon by the evaluator. But something technical which I would like to suggest is like Toastmaster Omar was always looking at us from above as if he's the boss. Okay, it looks audacious, good enough. But Toastmaster Omar, it always looks pleasant when you have the camera set at your eye level. So this way you are more pleasing in appearance to all your audience, and you are also presented in a better way. So you could apply that in your future speeches. It's time now for us to hear from our meeting leaders. First up, we will hear from our counter, Toastmaster Rupesh Kumar. But before I call him upon to the virtual lectern, I would like to inform you that now I'll be sharing the link for the evaluator, the best evaluator. Mr. Timer, are all the evaluators qualified? Toastmaster Kazi?
evaluation, Mr. Pillai did not qualify, and ATM Farin said did not qualify. All others are qualified.
Thank you very much. So I'll be sharing the link for voting. Kindly vote for the best evaluator. And in the meantime, Toastmaster Rupesh, I welcome you to the virtual lectern to give your counters report.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, DTM Dr. Sundar. And also thank you to DTM Mr. Sridhar for giving me this audacious opportunity to take AHA counter today. So coming to my role, today Toastmaster Kaji Sayyed, he used 2 times filler word AHA and he used the repetitive word 2 times. Toastmaster Mr. Omar Safiq, he used the filler word 3 times and he used repetitive word 3 times. Coming to Toastmaster Anand Pillai, he used this filler word 4 times and he used this repetitive word 2 times. Coming to Toastmaster Malika Mada, he used this filler word 1 time and repetitive word also 1 time. Coming to this Toastmaster Mati Hasmi, he used filler word 5 times. And then finally coming to DTM Sridhar, he used the filler word 2 times. And then coming to myself, which I analyzed after my speech, I used filler time 3 times and repetitive word, I think 1 time. Hand over to General Evaluator DTM Dr. Sundar.
Very much, Toastmaster Rupesh, for that elaborate report on accounting, filler words usage, and repetitive word usage. The idea of having an R counter among us is to avoid these filler sounds, repeated words that we always tend to happen, because when we stand in front of an audience, it is our nervousness that brings in these kind of filler words, or a paucity in thought, which brings in these illegible words or those words without a meaning says and we need to avoid that as communicators. So that's the idea of having an R counter. And thank you, Toastmaster Rupesh, for bringing that out from all of us today. Next, we have the report about the word master and the grammarian, which was done by our table topics master as well. Toastmaster Sanat Agrawal, could you please share us your word master and grammarian report? The virtual lectern is all yours, Toastmaster Sanat.
Thank you, DTM Sundar, Dr. Sundar. Most of the speeches were wonderfully crafted with lots of good thoughts, good quotes, and most of the times, most of the speakers use the correct usage of language. I have noted a few instances, a couple of which I will quote. One of the speakers says apply in the future. Generally, you say apply to the future, although grammatically apply in the future might also be correct, but it is the better use of what is apply to the future, apply to future. One of the speakers says you are fear. I think what he intended to speak was you are fearful or you were fearful. A lot of good thoughts were spoken by a number of speakers. Success is a journey, not a destination. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Strike a balance. Dr. Sundar used those wordings, very apt. My favorite thought process is strike a balance. Always don't be on the extremes. Go out of your comfort zone or step out of your comfort zone. So said TM Umar Shafiq, very well said. Most of the speakers have used the word of the day and they've used it correctly, audacious. Dr. Sundar used it at least twice. TM Anand Pillai used a couple of times. Rupesh Kumar used once. DTM Sridhar used once or twice. Malika Mata used it twice. And DTM Farhin said she used it several times. So overall, a good usage of the word of the day. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sanat. Thanks for the audacious ways in which you bring in energy to the meeting. These are the ways by which we uplift our performances in the meeting, be it the table topics or be it the word master's role or the grammarian's role. You did perform a great job. Thank you so much and kudos to you. And now we have the last and final meeting leaders report, which will be that of the timer. Timer Toastmaster Kazi Nakiuddin, could you please share us the timing? Just say that how much time each speaker or role player took. No need to say qualified or not qualified, sir. The virtual lectern is yours, Toastmaster Kazi, for your report.
Thank you very much, DTM Dr. Sundar. In prepaid speech session, TM Kazi Nakiuddin used 5 minutes 38 seconds calling. TM Umar Shafiq 7 minutes 5 seconds. In table topic session, TM Rupesh Kumar 1 minute 59 seconds. TM Mati Hashmi 2 minutes 3 seconds. TM Malika Ada 2 minutes 2 seconds. TM Anand Pillai 2 minutes 6 seconds. DTM Sundar Ramalingam 2 minutes 8 seconds. TM Mati Hashmi 1 minute 54 seconds. DTM SR Sridhar 1 minute 58 seconds. TM Qazi Nakiuddin 1 minute 2 seconds. In evaluation session, TM Anand Pillai took 3 minutes 61 seconds. 4 minute 1 second. I mean, sorry. TM Malika Ada 3 minutes 8 seconds. DTM Sundar Ramalingam 3 minutes 27 seconds. TM Farin Set 4 minutes 8 seconds and 6 minutes 8 seconds, sorry, and DTM SR Sridhar 2 minutes 6 seconds. Over to you, Mr. Dr. Sundar.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kazi, for that brilliant report. We had a very good role play done by Toastmaster Kazi in terms of being the timer. He is new to our club, and also he has been courageous enough to take up the role of the timer, which requires perseverance and commitment throughout the meeting, in spite of him having delivered both the table topics as well as a prepared speech. Kudos to you, Toastmaster Kazi, for that. So with that, we come to the end of the meeting leaders report. I'm just giving you a quick wrap up of my evaluation of the overall meeting. Our meeting started a bit late. This was because we had to see if all the role players and assignees were there. That's actually a good practice to check if all role players and assignees are present by the Sergeant at Arms and the presiding officer before starting the meeting. That was indeed great, but that should be done a little while earlier. In fact, as the Zoom host, I also started the meeting only at 9:30. So my apologies as well for the delay in that part. Thanks to that, we have all been maintaining the time until now. We have not overshot the time, so we are going good. And all the role players did their job, be it the Sergeant at Arms, the presiding officer, the Toastmaster of the day, and the meeting leaders and role players, including the big three role players, have been performing their roles flawlessly. The Toastmaster of the day could actually add up a little bit more. You know, the Toastmaster of the day is like the bulwark, the sheet anchor of the entire meeting. So at every segment that you get an opportunity, in fact, that's a speaking opportunity, not only a speaking opportunity, but also an opportunity to showcase your leadership, communication, and public speaking skills. So you have a theme to prepare, and you are going to be the greatest speaker of the day, the Toastmaster of the day. So make use of that opportunity. Any one of you who takes up as the Toastmaster, bring in your own ideas and thoughts, bring in anecdotes. You can actually add like 1 or 2 minute anecdotes at every segment that you are being given. That's at the opening, in between the prepared and the table topics, in between table topics and evaluation, and finally at the closing. Just one point that I would like to reinforce to all of us: we are on the online platform, and as far as MECA KSA Club is concerned, I'm pretty sure we are going to be through with the online meetings for a very considerable amount of time. So let us be considerate enough to mute and unmute every time we want to speak, and every time we finish speaking, let us unmute ourselves. Right now, I can see several of those non-speakers are still unmuted. As long as you don't make a noise, it's fine. But what happens with Zoom, it's designed in such a way that even a small noise, that's a sneeze or a cough or even a drop of a pin, will bring your video on the spotlight and will take the person who is delivering at that point of time away. So just let us practice this one, and this is an etiquette in online meetings as well. Otherwise, it was a great meeting, and I enjoyed being the general evaluator for today's meeting. And let me just sign off with just one word, that I'll be sharing the voting for the best of meeting leaders. Kindly vote. And back to you, the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anand Pillai.
Thank you, DTM Sundar, for that very elaborate and detailed evaluation, especially pointing out the role of the Toastmaster of the day. So it's really an addition to what I'm doing. I'm pretty sure, because I was also not very sure about what I have to do in between. So it's a real information for me as well. So I will definitely incorporate into my next speeches or the roles. And yes, as we have also seen that many of the speakers have mentioned or used the word of the day, audacious, and the table topics were beautifully constructed to align with the theme of the day. Very well. So we are all Toastmasters in this platform. We have taken that step. We are courageous. We are audacious enough to come to this platform and get rid of our stage fright, get rid of our anxiety. Definitely. There is a great saying by Hamilton, okay, Benate Hamilton. She says that courage doesn't mean you don't get afraid. It means that you can get afraid. But the point here is that we should not be stopped by that. We should conquer that. And then we should move on. So accepting the reality that if you're anxiety or if you are nervous, accept it and just move on. With that, I would like to conclude my session and hand over the lectern back to the presiding officer, DGM Sridhar. Over to you, DGM Sridhar.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Anand Pillai. It was a great session. And I'd like to ask Dr. Sundar to please make voting, put the voting link for the best of the big three, the Toastmaster of the Day, the Table Topics Master of the Day, and the Digital Evaluator. While the voting is going on, I would like to ask our guests to give their feedback. First is our legend, the distinguished Toastmaster, Farheen Seth.
Thank you very much, DTM Sridhar, for inviting me to be a part of this meeting. It was a different experience. I'm used to being in a corporate club throughout my Toastmasters journey, and I haven't really been in any other club. But this one was truly different because I saw each of you are so committed to what you're doing. Every single role player took their role so seriously. I'm sure you prepared ahead of time and you had a lot of energy and enthusiasm put into whatever you were doing, which is amazing. We have seen Toastmasters taking the back seat in our lives in the past 2 years or so. But then I'm so happy that there are people who are still giving it their full and their best. So congratulations to everyone at the meeting today, and keep on doing what you're doing and inspire the people around you, because that's what Toastmasters do best. Thank you once again. Back to you, DTM Sridhar.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Farheen, and we'll be inviting you often so that you enlighten us with your wisdom and your tips, which will grow our club. It's ours a new club actually. These all are new, very new members. So they really are just like a sponge absorbing all the wisdom and the tips you give. Thank you so much for coming. Now another rising star, I would say not even risen star, I would say rising star, Mallika Madhav. Could you please give your feedback?
Thank you, DTM Sridhar sir, for giving me an opportunity and for inviting me for today's meeting. This is the second time that I'm attending your club's meeting, and I was really impressed the first time when I attended, and even today, I was so happy to be a part of this meeting among such eminent personalities, district champions, seasoned Toastmasters. Though we just have 9 members in the meeting, but it brought a lot of value, a lot of things which I could learn and take back. So thank you for inviting me, and I hope I would be a part of the meeting in the coming weeks as well. And as DTM Farheen rightly said, though this is a new club and we just have very few members, it didn't look like this is it seemed as if everyone was so committed towards their roles. Most of the members, they did dual roles and they gave their full 100% to the roles that they took up. And I'm looking forward to many such enlightening meetings in the weeks to come. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you. Welcome for coming, and we will be calling you again and again. And what we like is the way you evaluate and the way you give your feedback. It opens our eyes on many things. And now currently it's a year end going on, so that's why many of the people couldn't make it. And there are a few people gone on vacation. That's why we are facing paucity of attendance. But that does not mean that we can dilute the quality of the meeting. We will run the meeting, and that's what is our goal. We are courageous enough to run the meeting and do the meeting with people, with legends like you all. Dr. Sundar, is the results ready?
Yes, DTM Sridhar. I'll share the results now. So we have the winners of today's meeting. The results are ready. So the best speakers, Toastmaster Qazi Sayyuddin. Best table topic speaker, Toastmaster Omer Shafiq. Best evaluator is Toastmaster Malika Dinesh Mada. Best meeting leader is Toastmaster Rupesh Kumar. And the best of big three, Toastmaster Sanat Kumar Agrawal.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all the winners of today's meeting. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Congratulations to all the winners. And we look forward for the next meeting next Saturday. And thanks all the guests for coming. And let us prepare for more energetic meeting next Saturday. The meeting stands